We'd like to welcome you, friends, to the Ross-Ellis Center for Arts and Ministry. We wanted to give you a tour of the progress that's taken place here. It's amazing now that all the work has moved inside. All that is happening, it is moving quickly, and we wanted to give you kind of a look at what's happening. This is the entryway as people come in. They come through these double doors, and we will be coming into the main entrance here of the center. And I wanted to make a few comments about here in the main entryway. As you come in, directly in front of you is what we're going to be calling our donor wall. And we are designing a donor appreciation design that's going to show everyone who's contributed to the Ross-Ellis Center for Arts and Ministry. So we're excited what this is going to look like. There's going to be some nice spotlights that are going to come down this wall to show our appreciation to those of you who have made contributions. I want to say a couple of things about these atrium rooms that are on either side. There are partitions that can close these off to make each side into a classroom. And these classrooms are going to be able to hold a capacity of around 60 to 80 students or people. These classrooms can also be, if the partitions remain open, then we can use this area for large receptions, which we're excited about. So when we have performances, symphony performances, pageants, plays, we can open up this area for people to enjoy refreshments, to roam around, to visit, to fellowship. And so this is going to be a nice area where we can do a number of things, not only with just classrooms, but also by holding receptions and welcoming people to the Ross-Ellis Center for Arts and Ministry. On either side of the donor wall are restrooms, and at this time the restrooms are not lighted real well as they're working on them, so we're not going to be able to probably get a good look at what's happening, but these restrooms are going to be first class. They're going to be wonderfully made, a lot of tile, and we're going to accent them with some red pieces, whether it's flower or artwork, because Berkeley College has one of our main colors is red. And so the restrooms are on either side of the donor wall. We're going to walk this way, and after going into the atrium rooms, the next room we're going to look at is called a recital hall. And the recital hall is it is our largest classroom, and it's going to be able to hold up to 120 people. And in the recital hall, the seating is going to be flexible. I think the lights will come on once we come in here. The seating is going to be flexible, so you can have a seating in the round, you can have seating in rows. We can bring risers in here to have a recital, a college choir performance. The lighting is going to be up here right above us, and it's going to be theatrical lighting, and so the lighting can change colors, and we can do just a number of things. This is a very flexible room, and we're excited because this is going to be the largest classroom that we've had at Berkeley College for many, many years. And so the atrium rooms and the recital hall, and a little later on we'll go down to the rehearsal hall. Those are 4 large classrooms that are desperately needed here at Berkeley College as our student enrollment grows. So this is called the recital hall, and I can't wait for you to come and enjoy a recital, or come to hear a speaker. There's really a number of things we can do in this room that are going to benefit the community as well as the college. We're going to go out the doors here that would go back into the hallway. These doors, I've been very pleased with them. These are solid oak, and so they have a wonderful finish to them, and they look first class because we want this to be glorifying to God. If you look down this hallway, there are no classrooms or offices here at this point. This is just a hallway that can go down to the entrance to the stage, and also an entrance to the back area, the loading dock area, which we'll show you a little bit later. So we're going to make our way back here past the atrium rooms and the main entrance. I might also say there's a small serving area in here next to the women's restroom. And in the serving area, it's basically a place where we can warm food. It's not a place where we prepare food, but as we have receptions, cookie receptions and so forth, we can warm up food, keep it hot, and then we will use it to bring it out here for banquets and receptions that we'll have out here in our atrium room. So we have a service area and the restrooms that are behind the donor wall. As we make our way down here to the rehearsal hall, this is where our choir will be rehearsing. It's also going to be used as a classroom, and in this classroom I believe that we can hold up to 80 to 100 students. And this one was going to have risers in this classroom, but these risers are portable, and so instead of having them built and brought in and not being able to move, the risers can be placed at any place in this room. And then when the choir wants to maybe go up on stage or go perform in a church, the risers are aluminum, and so they can be easily moved. They're on wheels, and so it's going to be very nice that the risers are not fixed and solid in the ground or against the wall, but they'll be able to be used in a number of areas in this building and other places. But this is going to be a wonderful rehearsal hall, and for those of you who have been at Barclay College for many, many years, you know right now that the place they practice is in Phillips Hall, and that is a small area, and so we're excited for our music ministry, our choir, that they get this nice new facility to extend their gifts and abilities to honor God. Just outside the door here of the rehearsal hall is the music director's office. It's a nice big office for a couple reasons. One is the music director will also store music in here, so whether it be filing cabinets or some type of way to store music, this will happen in this music director's office. So that's the reason for the size of it. Plus, it's just a nice place for whoever's directing our music program. As you remember, there was a hall that went down on the south side of the auditorium. On the north side here, there's also a hallway, but now we have some rooms. And so in this room, we have 4 minutes out to turn this on. There we go. We have 4 practice rooms along this hallway. And in these practice rooms, we will have a piano. We also may have an electric piano, perhaps a computer station. But the students are going to be really pleased and excited that they have some private areas that they can work on practicing their gifts and abilities. So the 4 practice rooms will have pianos, and those are right next to each other. In beside the 2 practice rooms, there's a couple other smaller rooms. One is called a vocal lab, and one's called a piano lab. And you might come inside and look here that if students have voice lessons or piano lessons, they will be able to come into these rooms and be taught and practice. They can also use these rooms for smaller classrooms. And so you could bring in a table and have probably 6 to 12 students in these smaller classrooms that they'll enjoy here in the Fine Arts Center. So we have a vocal lab as well as a piano lab that are kind of sandwiched between the 2 or the 4 practice rooms that you see that we've already shown you. A lot of good things happening here. There's a lot of room, which we're thankful for. And as our plan is to have productions here, we have a dressing room here that houses both the men and women. So I'm going to have you come in here, and these are fantastic the way these have come along quickly. We're just going to go in one side of them at this point. But in these dressing rooms, first in this area right here, we're going to have, you could call it cubbies or lockers, where the people that are performing in the production, they can store their things in this area. And then when you come on in here, anybody that performs in a production such as a musical, they need a nice place to put their makeup on, do their hair, so forth. And so there are a number of stations here where that can happen. Right below the mirrors that you see is going to be a counter space. And so there'll be counters, lighted mirrors, or lights and mirrors, and it's just really, it's a nice place for people that are in the production to prepare and get ready. On either side at both sides of the dressing room, there's also a restroom. And so each side will have their own restroom. Let's see if we have a light. Yes, there's a light. So as you see, we have a tile floor. In fact, this is in all the restrooms, we have a nice tile floor, but in the main restrooms behind the donor wall, the walls are also tiled, and you'll get a look at those in the near future. But this is a look at the dressing rooms, how nice they are with all the mirrors, the lights. Each side has their own restroom privacy, and then they have an area for their belongings with lockers and cubbies. So these are the men's and women's dressing room of the Arts Center. There's more to come, and it's the best is yet to come with the auditorium, but let's keep making our way down the hallway here. We have a couple offices that are down in this corner of the building. The first one is our facilities manager. I don't know if there's let me see if we can get a light in here. Yeah. So the facility manager, his office or her office will be held in this area, and then directly adjacent from the facility manager, this is called our drama director's office. And so the reason we like this is that they are going to be right by the stage where they'll need to be to help direct the performances that take place. So we have the drama office and the facility manager office. So we're going to make our way onto the stage now. And as you come onto the stage, you have the breaker panels for all the electrical lighting. We have these double doors right over here, and this is basically a place where we can house the grand piano. So when it's not being used on stage, we can put the grand piano in this area to keep it safe and locked up and give us more room out here on the stage. We're going to go behind here. There's a wall that when we're doing productions, those are involved can get from one side of the stage to the other side of the stage without being seen, and also having a safe area to be passing one another that are involved in the production. You've all been asking the question, how in the world are they going to be able to get all the animals and camels into the Fine Arts building? And this is our receiving area. As you can see, we have a big sliding door. This door here these doors are about 12 feet high. This is where they'll bring all the animals, the camels in. But it's also when semi-trucks bring in musical equipment for symphony orchestras, they can bring it all into this receiving area. As you can see, it's quite large, so we can store a number of things here and have a lot of things ready to go, whether it's sets, props for what the musical production's happening, whether it's a pageant. A lot of things can be stored here while they're waiting to be taken out on the stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have you take a look here at the main auditorium stage. There's going to be 3 sets of curtains. This is the back wall. There'll be a curtain, a black. All the curtains will be black. So there'll be a curtain covering this wall. It can also be opened up, and we can have lighting, colored lighting going on this wall by itself. There's also a midline curtain that would be somewhere in this area. And then there'll obviously be a curtain that's across the front of the stage. The stage is going to be made of wood, and it's going to be wonderful. It'll be very nice. The acoustics are going to be wonderful. And as you look out here in the auditorium, you can see that there's not a bad seat in the auditorium. It's all leveled, so it's tiered going from the back to the front, and it's also from the sides coming in. It's all leveled so that it's all coming toward the middle. And so as I look out here, and as you we'll get a chance to see it, I don't think there's really a bad seat in the house. As you look up, there's a lot of lighting. God has blessed us with being able to have this nice lighting, and so there's lighting in front of the stage, and there's also lighting right above us here that can be lowered by a motor. It comes down, so if we need to change lights, it can come right down, so we don't have to get a lot of ladders out. We can change the colors. We can change lights that need to be replaced. And so lights not only are here on the stage itself, but we have lights on the front. It's hard to see right now, but there are catwalks that go up above those lights. And so anytime we need to change things or adjust lights, we can go on catwalks to do that, so there's safety involved. So this is the stage area of the auditorium. As you look out, I know it's kind of hard to see because all the panels are not up yet, but all of the panels on the side are beveled, which is going to help with the sound. So all the panels on the side are beveled to get the sound to reflect and go to the back wall where there's going to be panels, fabric panels to absorb the sound. I can hardly wait to hear what the sound's going to be like in here. And then of course we have these acoustical panels up here on the top, as well as you look out on in the auditorium. Let's walk down the stairs here and go down into the auditorium where people will be sitting. There are going to be two nice large screens on either side of the stage. This one's a little bit hard to see right here, but on that side you can pretty much see where the large video screens will be. And that's where, like in most places, if we have chapel in here, we need to show videos or have words to our worship songs. Those can all be shown on these video screens. If you look up above, where I'm pointing my finger up here, we have those two windows on the sides are for spotlights and for video cameras. The window in the middle is to help run lighting, controls up there that we can really run everything that we need from that window as well. There's also a sound booth that's right here on the auditorium floor. It's kind of hard to kind of know where that's going to be or be pictured. But right here where this drywall is located is where our sound booth will be. And so especially for chapels, we can run all of our sound right down here on the main auditorium floor area. Right here to the side of the auditorium, there's an elevator. And so as we need to move equipment, there's going to be storage up here in front, up above. As we need to move equipment from the second floor down to the first main floor here, there's an elevator that we can do that very easily. The last thing we're going to do, we're going to take a short trip up here, upstairs, and just kind of let you see what it looks like on the second floor of the auditorium. So if you'll follow me, we'll do that. So right now we're on the second floor of the auditorium. There's some storage areas that have panels, electrical panels, and so forth. And so those are in these rooms that we can store a lot of things. One thing that's a real blessing is back here. This long room is going to be all for costumes and things that will be used in the productions of the pageant and other musicals. And so this is pretty much where all the storage will happen for things needed for those productions. As I mentioned when we were down below, this is where the elevator comes up right here. So if we get a bunch of costumes that we need to transport down to the main floor, it'll be very easy. Instead of going up and down the steps, we can use the elevator. This is where we will run video cameras, and we will have spotlights here. And there's a window here and one on the other side. And as you can see, it's a nice view of the stage from this area up here. We can run all of the lighting from up here. And we can also, when productions are going on, we can run really everything can be run from up here, whether it's video, the equipment, lighting, sound. It can be run here as well as down in the sound booth that's on the main floor. And we talked about the catwalks that go up above where we can change things. This is the ladder that will go up to the catwalks where if we need to adjust the lighting, that can happen. There's also another office up here. Actually, I don't see a light for this one. So on the side here of where we store costumes and all the lighting, sound equipment, this is just an additional office that we have up here on the second floor. So ladies and gentlemen, it's nice that you get to take a tour and see what blessing this is to have a new fine arts center. And I believe in about 1 month, a little over 1 month, you're going to see a big change, because a lot of this will be completed and ready, and we can't wait till you get a chance to come and walk through it by yourself and your family, and you'll see the blessing that it is that God has given here at Barclay College. Thank you for your support, and we just pray that this will continue to train students to honor and praise God through their gifts and abilities. Thank you very much.